Hey friends, welcome back to my kitchen. It's Becky. I am going to show you how to make sour cream. It is the easiest thing to make. You don't need any special equipment. You can make it in less than 5 minutes. Well, it takes, I think, like 12 hours, but actual work time is about 5 minutes. And I started making this because I wanted to buy naturally fermented sour cream, but it's really expensive. And so I figured I make yogurt, so why can't I make sour cream? It's just fermented cream, and so the process has got to be pretty easy. So let me show you how to do it. You don't need anything special. You just need heavy whipping cream or cream. I usually do 2 quarts at a time. I love sour cream. And I just use mason jars. I'm going to show you the way to do it with no special equipment. You can also use an Excalibur dehydrator and actually have an actual setting time on it, but you don't need that. You can just use your oven. Once you have your cream in your jars, you're going to want to get yourself some naturally fermented yogurt. It doesn't matter what brand it is. The only thing that matters is that you look in the active ingredients and it says live active cultures. And there'll be a list typically of 6 or so different bacteria that are live active cultures in here, and that's what you need to help start your sour cream. Typically when I make sour cream, I just use my old sour cream to start my new sour cream, but when you're starting from scratch, you need to buy an active culture sour cream. You can go online and buy specific sour cream starters, but those are more expensive and you can only use them to start your sour cream, versus this, I only need a couple tablespoons and then I can make this sour cream. You do want to check and make sure that when you're looking at the ingredients, it's just milk and your starter. A lot of yogurts will have fillers like pectin or gelatin to help thicken them and give them a better mouthfeel, but you don't necessarily want that in your sour cream. So just look at the ingredients. It's pretty easy to find one that doesn't have any fillers. I don't follow recipes. I find them a little constraining, and so I just, for about a quart of milk, I just take maybe 2 heaping tablespoons of yogurt, stir it around. And that's all you have to do. I'm spilling. And then just stir it up. It doesn't have to be exact. And then I like to wipe the jars. And I just use old canning lids. You can't reuse them to can, but they're perfect in an application like this. Just put a canning lid on. And then I wrap these up in a towel. There's nothing fancy here. I just tuck them in. And then the trick here is to have a warm oven. I just baked some brownies and I had the oven at 300, and it's been about an hour since I've taken them out, and the oven is still pretty warm. So when I put my hand in here, it's just a nice warm oven. And so I'm gonna go ahead and take my jars and throw them in that warm oven. So I got my jars in the oven, and then all I do is turn my oven light on, and I'm gonna let that sour cream sit in there for about 12 to 14 hours, and we'll check on it in the morning. Good morning. It is actually almost noon. So this sour cream was probably in here a little bit longer than it needed to be, but that's okay. That's one cool thing about fermenting is there's no real strict guidelines. It's not like baking. It'll just be a little bit more sour, which is fine. When I feel inside my oven, it's still warm. It's definitely not as warm as it was last night, but it's got a nice warm temperature to it. So I'm going to turn my light off. The ideal fermenting temperature is about 105 to 110 degrees, and that's why I was saying if you use an Excalibur, you can actually set the exact temperature on it, but I found that you don't actually need to have the exact temperature in order to make a really good sour cream. So let me bring you down and show you. So they feel nice and warm to the touch, not hot by any means, but probably like body temperature. So that pop was a good sound. That was the pressure releasing from the fermentation. This is still kind of liquidy, so I'm gonna set this in the refrigerator and it's gonna set up. I have one in there so I can show you what it looks like when it sets up. Through the magic of television, this is what your sour cream will look like when it sets. It probably is going to take another 10 to 12 hours to firm up and get to this consistency. So in order to show it to you now, instead of waiting that long, I figured I would just show you the one that I have in the refrigerator. I like to do this because now this sour cream is a probiotic. It's got active live cultures in it, and it isn't organic, but if you want to make it organic, it's pretty simple. You just buy organic heavy cream, and then you could have the benefit of having organic dairy and fermented dairy, and so it's just kind of a healthier option. A lot of sour creams, if you look at the ingredients, actually have thickeners in them. Gelatin, pectin, cornstarch, and different thickeners, and they do that because they want to increase the value of the sour cream by having it be thick without doing the full long fermentation process. And most sour creams that you buy are not actually a probiotic anymore. They are pasteurized, which means it kills any of the live active cultures in it. So if you want really easy homemade fermented sour cream, try this out. Let me know how it goes. If you guys try it, let me know if it works for you, and if you guys have a way you like to ferment your dairy, I would love to hear that in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, I hope you give it a thumbs up, and I can't wait to see you next time. Bye guys.